Good evening again. I'm Rajneesh. Well, the guest professor, Motihari College of the Engineering. Here, as per your curriculum, I'm here with a very important topic, that is the leadership networking and teamwork. First, here we have to understand what exactly the leadership is. And the second, we will discuss about what the networking, and third, what exactly the teamwork is. First, before going into this chapter, we must understand exactly what the leadership is. Leadership is simply one of the most important function of the manager. All the engineers are the futuristic manager of that for their companies. So, the leadership activities is very much required in the organization. As you know, we have the 5 functions of the manager as an engineer in the organization. First is the planning, second one is the organizing, third one is the staffing, and C stand for the controlling, and L for the finally the leadership. So you cannot find not a single leader who is the illiterate, who is the less known about their faculty, and he is the wonderful leader. This is not a practically feasibly possible, and the exception is everywhere, but we don't take the exception as a whole. The leader may be the departmental HOD. The leader may be the manager. The leader may be the CEO of the company. The one leader in a company cannot solve the growth problem of any organization. So in the company, the level wise, you will have to create such an environment where you can multiply growth on every level of the managerial level, on every department. The main aim of the leader is aim. As you know, the aim is nothing, it is simply a short-term goal that is called aim. The short-term goal is called aim. And whereas objective is always on the yearly basis. It may be short-term, it may be of the long-term. Whereas the target is the word that is also a very much akin, very much close in the sense of the objective, and the mission is a very, very long-term goal, the mission of the life. So, you must understand these all the terms being a good manager of a company. So, generally, the leader, corporate leader, departmental leader is very much concerned with the objective. It may be short-term, it may be long-term. Here, the corporate needs in any type of the service organization and the product organization, that every evening you are supposed to give the growth, and growth is not only concerned with the uniformity in the growth must be multiplied. So this is the very difficult situation. For this, you will have to enlarge your product line. You will have to enlarge your service line. When you will enlarge the product and the service line, it means there is an expansion, means the more penetration in the market. When there is the expansion, much and the more expansion, it means your product lines and the service line is the being appreciated, and it is the well reaching in the downwards, and it is getting the more expanded over that particular region or area. So the corporate leader must train the team leader, and team leader basically a dynamic engine. This is the engine who is the looking after the most fertile and the most expanded area of the profitability to come closer to goal. And when you will see the more profitability, more and the much profitability, only then your leader will survive, your team leader will survive, and it is only possible when your geographical area of your product line and the service line is on the broader basis and the well expanded. Here, so just I am giving a one example. Suppose there is a one leader, corporate leader. Suppose here is a manager, is a leader of the XYZ company, and your company is the working in the eastern zone, western zone, northern zone, and the southern zone. One leader cannot solve, cannot practically feasible to look after, and he will get and draw the maximum result of that very area. You will have to make a clone, you will have to cultivate the leadership style of your team leader, because it is well known to you that he and she is the dynamic engine of your company. And only then, when your area will multiply, when the number of the team leader will more multiply, only then your growth will more multiply. Earlier it was the 2.1, now it will be the 2.2, in the future it may be 2.3. It will take a time. So, the more penetration, the networking of the network is the very much needed in the present area. If you have a good networking, it means you have a good number of the team leader. And if you have the good number of the penetration, if you have the penetration, and if you know exactly what is the meaning of the penetration of the much product line and the service line in that a particular market, it means you will have to improve the number of the team leader, as well as you will have to also improve the networking of the teamwork or teamwork networking. As the teamwork of the networking plus the team leader plus your corporate leader will give a can have the ability to maximum jerk of your growth. So this is the important one. Here we will have to discuss here. Just I am giving one example. Suppose there is a goal, there is a target, and you can say there is an objective, because it is well known to you the world most successful vaccination mission the India has. Because India is not a country of the affluent resources, the infrastructure is the very less to protect the Indians' life. We are not very much blessed with the good money and the good hospitality and the very good number of the doctor, and technically we are not very much a smart one. So what did exactly the leader? The leader did one thing. Leader, don't take my word, leader only related to the politics. Here the leader means the person who is the leading the vaccination program of the India. Who is the apex body person concerned? I am talking about them. In the same manner, when you will be employed in the company as the CEO, as the manager, or as the departmental head, you will have to look after and play such a sort of the things. So, a good teamwork leader and the networking must have a good credential. The first is the visionary. Just remember the 2 years back when the first entry of the COVID was there was a completely a panic, and we the Indians were on a very panic situation, because it was known to us we had a very poor economics and the infrastructure facilities the very less. Despite that, we shake hand with the lockdown. Finally, we shake hand with the lockdown, and the lockdown gave them wonderful result. But if you will the measure against the total population of our country and the infected people during the first phase of the COVID, you will find that the thing was the better. The lockdown was the best suited antidote of that period. In the meantime, the vaccination, RT-PCR, strengthening the role of the health worker, the role of the scientist, the role of the engineers, the role of the DRDO, the role of, again, the important role of the other strategist, administrator, did a wonderful job. And finally, the talent advocator. Talent advocator means if right now the mission vaccination is successful, so it is only due to a good leadership, best administrators, best scientists, best managers, best follow-up tools, best happening of the, you can say it, the health workers. See, the strategist, the saving of life percentage in the India versus European country, even the USSR, the USA and even the overseas country was very much satisfactory. And if you will the comparison, the saving of the life of the Indian versus the global population, the success rate is the wonderful. We also faced the great sense of the jolt. The GDP was the crunched. No doubt, the general populace faced a lot of and the series of the problem during that phase. But despite the final aim and the final mission of any democratic country is to save the life, not the GDP, during this pandemic. And it happened. And it is right now even the happening. So, it is a great salute to the leader of the nation, leader of the administrators, leader of the scientists, leader of the managers, leaders of the health worker who have done a wonderful, and finally the India registered the #1 life saver achiever in the world. It is only due to the teamwork, leader and the networking. These are the credentials. So, the efficient teamwork, networking is the master tools to grab the growth. If you hear, the mission was to save the life, but in a corporate sector, where the service sector, where the other profitable sector, where the growth is the matter. Money matters. Money is very much concerned with the growth. There, it means that a strong company always looking for a strong teamwork, networking. If you will do such a thing, only then you can assume the solid growth. Without this, it cannot be happen. In the meantime, please go through it, realize the fact, be a good strategist, good visionary, and always you must be a good advocator of the talent. In the meantime, I am taking a goodbye. Thank you very much.